Welcome back to Black Coffee and Grits. I'm Lisa. Happy Halloween. I can't believe October is gone. It flew by, and I got a lot of stitching done, and we did a lot of fun things this month. I did a pretty good job keeping up with my book of days, writing down all the things, but I didn't really decorate it very much. So maybe I'll go back and add a few more stickers. I am going to use it as kind of a just a guide to keep me on track and to make sure that I'm telling you everything that has been going on and what I've been doing. So let's see. Did I do all the things that I set out to do? No, I did not. I'm going to wait a couple minutes. One of my neighbors, they constantly honk the horn on their car, and I don't know why that is. Maybe they can they lose it and they need to honk to find it. I hope not. Anyways, they finally stopped that. Okay, so let's talk about weather for just a second. It is not feeling like fall at all, so I am kind of bummed about that. Today we woke up and it's gray skies and it's in the 80s, but it's supposed to get down in the 50s. So we're looking at possibly getting some thunderstorms. I'm recording this on, what day is it? What day is it really? It's really Wednesday. I'm so messed up. I'll tell you why I'm so messed up. Because we are going to be traveling tomorrow, which is Halloween, which is when I'm going to post this. We'll be traveling to Michigan, and I'm so excited for like real fall weather in Michigan and beautiful leaves and all the things, and wearing a sweatshirt, and I just can't wait. We're going up to visit Tyler's sisters and their families, and we're gonna trick or treat with them on Thursday night, and then on Friday we're gonna do like pizza out at like our favorite place in Michigan or in the Detroit area called Buddy's. So we'll have family dinner on Friday night, and on Saturday, my husband got tickets to the Michigan-Oregon game, so we're going to the big house. So that'll be my first time to watch a football game there. I'm excited about that. And then on Sunday, we're gonna round out our weekend with a trip to the cider mill, because you can't go to Michigan in the fall and not go to the cider mill. Like, it's a must. So I'm super pumped about that. And that's what's going on this weekend for me, this coming weekend. And so Will and I have been busting tail, getting school finished up. I had written down like a little recap of what I wanted to say, and now I've lost it. My notebook is here though, if I can turn the pages. We've been doing good with school, and we've had a lot of fun. So despite the weather not being, it's just been hotter than I would like it to be. But it's been breezy, so that's been nice. And the leaves are falling off the trees and they're turning. So Will and I actually sat outside and did school for a couple of days, maybe 3 or 4 days in October, and that was really fun. And then my husband and I have been doing a bunch of stuff. We went out on a boat ride with friends and had dinner on the lake. And what else did I do? I met up with Michelle and Stephanie for a stitching date, and we had coffee at the local PJ's down the street. So that was really fun. And we've been watching lots of football, and the World Series is going on. So my husband and I have been watching the World Series. I thought that was going to be just a complete blowout, but the Yankees did make a comeback last night, so we'll see what happens tonight. What else? I'm trying not to say but I know I did it. Sorry. What have I been stitching on? You probably came here to know, what have I been stitching on? So I did pretty good. I had a bunch of starts. I had 4 starts. I also had 4 finishes. But I kind of bombed out on the FFOing. And I know that's probably mind-boggling to you, because I have been doing so many FFOs. But here's the thing. I needed some supplies, and I failed to order them, and I failed to go to the store. So I still have a bunch of stuff I want to FFO. We'll see if it happens in November or not. that are like, you know, fall themed, or I may just save them for next year because it's always fun to have stuff that you can just immediately FFO and put out. I'm so thirsty. Okay, so as far as whips go, last time I saw you, I told you that I was going to work on Autumn Tradition Sampler for one more day and finish the quarter that I was working on of the chart. So this is Autumn Tradition Sampler by Tiny Modernist, and I'm stitching it on a piece of Grace Notes fabric called Michelle. It's a linen. So this is how far I got, and I'm very pleased with how this is coming out. Like, I'm having a lot of fun stitching on it. Love the color of the fabric. I think it's just perfect. So I finished up that quarter, and then I decided to just move on to some other things. So love the colors on it. The DMCs are so pretty on this. So I am using all the called for DMCs, but I did choose my own fabric for that project. Okay, another thing that I started, and this was on my list of things to start, so it wasn't like I jumped ship or anything, but I had a friend join me. So on October 1st, Crystal, the Pacific Northwest stitcher, PNW stitcher is what I should call her, she and I started Halloween Quaker by Leela's Studio. So if you're not familiar, this is what it looks like. And I did choose my own fabric and floss for this. So I will at some point, maybe soon, I'm almost at a stopping point. I was mid-stitch. I really did not want to put this down. I decided to stitch mine on this piece. Let me show you the whole piece of fabric. I'm not sure how good the lighting is today. I probably should, let me put it back on this board because just having something behind the linen makes it where you don't see through it. Okay, so this is a gorgeous piece of Haunted by Seraphim. So the called for was Murky, and I had a piece of Murky, but it was Lugana Murky, and so it just didn't have as much color variation in it as the linen did, and so I just didn't like it as much. So I decided to use my piece of Haunted that I had in stash. So this is still in the hoop because I was literally like, you couldn't pry this from me. I really wanted to keep stitching on it. In fact, I almost didn't film a Flosstube and said, I'll film when I get back from Michigan, but I didn't want to keep you guys waiting for this October stitching, and I didn't want to feel like I was falling behind. So just going out of town make you feel like you, I don't know, are just a little bit like, I always feel that way. I'm excited to go, but I feel like it just throws a kink in my everyday. So this Quaker is so fun to stitch on. I absolutely love it. So some of the flosses that I'm using are the called fors, and some are ones that I picked. I basically used the chart as a guide, and while I was at Color and Cotton, I picked out just flosses that grabbed me. So let me see if I can zoom in here. The witch's hat. And I've already had some compliments on the witch's hat from friends who I've sent the picture to. That is this gorgeous floss from Color and Cotton called Purple People Eater, and it is so fun. So I am using, I was on the fence too about whether I wanted to use 310, and I decided to go ahead and use 310 because the first thing I stitched was this big motif right here, and it's in black coffee, which you guys know is my favorite black, but I noticed that there were other 310 motifs like next to it, and if you'll notice the witch, I'm starting her, she's on this part of this moon, she's in 310, so it really does pop, and it looks different, like quite a bit different than the black coffee. So I did go ahead and keep that in. Now this motif in the corner is actually, what is it called? I forgot. Blackbird. So that is Classic Colorworks Blackbird. So like I said, I did use some of the called fors, I used the smoke from Classic Colorworks, but then I think it was mainly these pops of color that I pulled off the wall at Color and Cotton that I just love. Like this is Salamander. Isn't that pretty? I chose some golds. This is Roasting Chestnuts. And the Purple People Eater I fell in love with. And I grabbed this Avocado, which is like a lemmy green. So I will put on Instagram all the things when I update this with a picture next. I think as soon as I finish the silhouette of the witch, I'll take a picture and I'll put up all the colors because I think I'll be pretty settled on all of them at that point. Did you guys notice I got a new needle minder? Actually, that's part of my haul. See that little witch? Isn't she cute? I got some needle minders from Mad for Minders. So I have a little bit of haul to show today. Let me see. Those were the only two other whips, like current still works in progress, that I stitched on since I saw you last, and wasn't a start and a finish. Are you ready for this? I made myself FFO this today. Now, I say that loosely because I just really have put it on a board. I stitched the last of this series, the wordplay series by Brenda Gervais with A Needle and Thread. This is the November wordplay, and I made myself go and put it on a piece of sticky board with some fabric, and I love how this turned out. I did pick all my own colors for this as well. I can't remember, but I think I did already post this up on Instagram. Pretty sure I did, with all the colors that I used, and I really had a lot of fun using like Color and Cotton, just things from Stash that were bright and fun, so I did brighten them up a lot. And in fact, this floss down here where it says Indian Corn, that was one of those really fun Forbidden Fiber co-colors. Goodness, now I wish I remembered what it was called. I did list it on Instagram. I may have the cards here. I have so much stuff out. I know I brought those cards over here. Oh, I buried them. They're right here. Try not to drag my bracelet on the table. Forbidden Fiber Co. Scarecrow is that color. So I did go ahead and put it on a board. As you guys know, this is 12 out of 12 for the series, so it's bittersweet to finish this, but I'm so glad I did. And this is actually something that I had in haul that I was going to show you from my thrifting adventures as this little frame that I got from Goodwill. And I'm actually kind of digging this, and most all these are on an 8x10. But I don't know that they're all gonna look good with this finish, this like kind of turquoisey. I love this frame because it's like beat up in all the right places, you know? It's like the edges are just imperfect, chippy. I love it. So I was playing around with that because I just really liked it, and I sat it down over here. I'm not in love with that tray that I finished all of those on, so I need to do something with it, or maybe just go out and find another piece, but they are all FFO'd similarly. So I need to take a cue from Cross Stitch the Globe, from Allison and Stephanie, and write down the sizes of the things that I need to go shop for. That is so smart. And when I was actually out thrifting, I thought about them, and I was like, well, that's a really smart thing to do that I don't do, and I need to start doing because it's helpful. Okay, I don't even know where to put this. I'm just sitting here holding it because I don't know where to put it. There's too many things on the table. I feel like I say that every time when I have this big old dining table. So the other thing that I finished, but I haven't fully finished because I ran into a small snafu, is Whimsy Witch. But let's just talk about Whimsy Witch for a minute because she is freaking adorable. This is by Teresa Kogut. I stitched this on a piece of 32 count heather linen by Fiber on a Whim, and I picked my own colors for this as well. And I did put this up on Instagram, so all of my color choices are listed there. I think it's pretty easy to just see what I put where. It turned out so stinking cute, and I love it. I love it on this Heather, and I love all the colors in it, and she's just adorable. Her little angry house cracked me up. I love those little funny eyebrows. Like, it just made me laugh so hard. So the house is hungry. She's going trick-or-treating, and the house wants to go trick-or-treating. That's what we decided. That's the story we're sticking to. So I had this pumpkin from Hobby Lobby, and I wanted to FFO this on this pumpkin. However, this is what the model was finished on. However, I think the model was stitched on 36 or 40 count, and I decided to go up to 32 count. Now, I probably could have made this work because it's really close to fitting, but I just felt like it wasn't showing enough of the pumpkin. And I think that there might be another pumpkin at Hobby Lobby that's just slightly bigger than this one. So I'm going to take it to Hobby Lobby and see, but it'll be super cute. And if the pumpkin at Hobby Lobby, if this was the bigger of the two, because I know there was a set, if this is the bigger of the two, then I'll just find something else to finish it on. But I think the pumpkin is kind of perfect. And I had that all this time. Now, like I said, I probably could have like eked out the margins and made this work, but I don't know. Sometimes that just stresses me out, and I don't want to cut too close because, you know, once you've cut, then there's no going back from there. Okay. That was Whimsy Witch. The other thing I started and finished was this little cutie pootie. I still have this all in the bag kitted up because I am going to stitch more of these. So remember this series, Jack O'Lantern Jubilee by With Thy Needle and Thread. I last month showed you the Trick or Treat pillow from this book, which I had FFO'd. And I showed you this other With Thy Needle and Thread piece called Cat and Moon, the Cat in the Moon. So I wanted, you know, to continue on with this series, but I wanted to use a different fabric, and I had talked about stitching the one with the crow and doing it on this pretty purple. But in the meantime, I was cruising Instagram and I saw this. So Audrey inspired me, and I think this was actually maybe a small gift exchange that she received, it looks like, after I went back and looked at the post a second time. But she received this stitched on Murky, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so good. And I have that Murky that's just sitting here. So I grabbed the Murky Lugana and I stitched up the cute little witch real quick. And these go really fast. I was actually going to tell you how long it took me to stitch this. This was Pumpkin Brew, and it took 4 days. And in that 4 days, I was doing school and thrifting, and I had a friend's wedding reception to go to, so it wasn't like all day stitching. It was like a few hours of stitching each day. I did use all the called for flosses on this, so the ones that are in the book, all called for, I have them all kitted up in here. So I didn't manage to FFO that, which I was kind of sad about, and I started to try to do it today, but with us going out of town and it was a sewing project, I just thought, you know what? You'd rather do it right than rush it, right? And you hate to make a boo-boo because that just causes more stress, and I don't need stress in my life. I don't know about you, but I don't need any more stress. Okay, so that was Pumpkin Brew, and then my friend Michelle, with Making It by Michelle on Flosstube, she said, hey Lisa, let's do a stitch along. And I said, oh, twist my arm. So we decided to stitch up Pumpkin Row by October House. And I will warn you, this is adorable. I love how they did this on this card, but it is tiny. Like, I had to get my readers out to see it. So just know that if you're buying this chart, you might want to just make a copy of it and blow it up and make it bigger. I wish I had, in hindsight, I wish I had done that. But so for this, Michelle was like, hey, I've got a couple of pieces of fabric and stash. What do you think about these? And I said, that is hysterical, because they were almost identical to what I had pulled, one of which was this piece that I stitched it on, which is a solo dye from Color and Cotton. So it's very like deep teal, like emeraldy teal. The other piece that I had pulled was Fiber on a Whim Atomic Ranch Wild Mint. And she had the same piece pulled out. So we were just giggling about that. And she ended up going up with her piece of fabric that was similar to this too. But it turned out so stinking cute. And I really had fun with this. I decided to like pace myself, and I just did one pumpkin a day. I think the first day I didn't do a pumpkin. The first day I did the stitching along the bottom with the words. And then the next day, and then each day after that, I just stitched one pumpkin. And it was really fun. So I stitched mine on the 16 count Ada. I don't think I said that. Solo dye by Color and Cotton. And I didn't use the called for flosses, but I did similar flosses because I just used what I had in stash, because it's such a small amount that I didn't want to have to go and, place an order and wait, because I was ready to start it like yesterday. So I did put on Instagram all the flosses I used, and I am going to finish mine. Oops, hopefully I'm not showing the pattern on this. I forgot that it's on the back of this card. Hopefully I wasn't showing the pattern. But I'm going to finish mine into a pillow like Michelle did. So just like a long, narrow, skinny pillow. It's going to be so cute. Again, this one I can still do because even though it's Halloween, we're still in fall, and you guys know how much I love fall. So I keep my fall stuff up right up until Thanksgiving. The day after Thanksgiving is whenever I get out the Christmas stuff. So I can still FFO that. We'll see. I'm not going to overpromise and underdeliver, because I know the holidays always start getting busy, but that is what I have in mind. Okay, so I showed you my FFOs, my FFO. I only had one. That was pitiful. My finishes and the whips that I worked on. Now, let's talk just real quickly about plans, and then I'll show you haul, because I've got some fun stuff that I thrifted. Ooh, and I'm going to have to pause and run out to the garage, because I have a couple of things that are still out there that I meant to grab earlier and kept forgetting. So, plans for next month. I still had from my kitted projects video, I think I still have three more kitted up and ready to go. One of which is Away We Ride by Blackbird. And I decided, a friend reached out to me, Tracy, and said, hey, we're going to start this on November 15th. I put it in my calendar, but I didn't write it on my book of days, so I need to do that. But we're going to start that together as a group. And then the other project that I still want to start and work on is Uber Turkey from Bent Creek. So I'll start that in November. And then the other small was the Autumn pillow from Emily Call, and I'll probably pop in pictures of these because I don't have them out. They're all kitted away, but just to refresh your memory of what those were. So that just takes like 3 days. And again, like if we hadn't done so much like fun stuff on the weekends, I didn't even finish telling you the other fun stuff that we did that took us away from the house. One of the things that we did in October was we usually do field trip Fridays. So I guess it was last Friday, 2 weeks ago Friday. I'm not sure. It's all a blur. We decided to go to our botanic gardens here in Fort Worth and just kind of check that out. We had a really fun day. Tyler was able to go with us. So it was a family affair. I'll put in a picture of us at the I had a cute little pumpkin scene set up, and then we just had a lot of fun looking at all the plants in the gardens. The flowers are beautiful, and because it's Texas and it's still pretty warm, a lot of stuff is still blooming still, so it was really fun. The other thing we did on the last day, we went to the State Fair of Texas, and I had the best time looking at all the cross stitch that was displayed in the art cases with the quilts and all of the paintings and like all the arts. I wish I knew how things were organized. It seems like I'm going to pop in a couple pictures here, but it seems like they kind of have them by theme, like each case, along with, and there were multiple categories in there, but I didn't fully understand, and there's probably a pamphlet somewhere that explained it all, and I just didn't see it or didn't get around to finding it. But Will, Tyler, and our neighbor Nikki and I all went, and we had a really great time. We went on Sunday. Like I said, it was the last day of the fair. I kept waiting for it to get cool, and it just didn't. So finally I was like, okay, I can't put it off any longer. I'm gonna miss it all together. So I really wanted to see all of the cross stitch artwork and everything. The boys, they just wanted to go and like see what the fair was all about, and do the midway and whatever else. So something fun that we did, we saw the pig races, and I might pop in a short little clip of that at the end because it's just really funny. And what else? What was I going to tell you? We didn't ride any big, like we didn't ride the Ferris wheel, but we tried some of the foods. Nikki got fried Oreos, and you know how they all look crazy foods at the fair. I don't even remember. My husband showed up like at 9 o'clock in the morning. As soon as we got there when it opened. It might have been 10, but he was like had a pizza and a beer already, and I was like, really? No, it was a Coke because they weren't selling beer yet because it was Sunday. But he did have a few beers throughout the day. And I had chocolate covered strawberries and, I don't know, a corn on the cob. And, you just eat your way through the fair. Oh, I know what else I was going to tell you. So the first thing we did, we went through the auto show and we were looking at all the cars. And Ford had a big exhibit with this really awesome, like, what do you call it? Simulator. So it's a race car simulator. So you get in it and you're racing a Mustang. And so it takes you on the track, but the thing moves. It's really cool. I'll probably pop in a little video of that at the end too with the pig video if you're interested to see it. But it was really fun. So Will went first. The boys wanted to do it, and Tyler was like, you have to do it too, because he was eating his pizza. So Will went first, and he ended up getting second place on the board because, I guess it was rolling over. They had like a daily board and then like the people that had raced it through the whole fair. So Will ended up getting second, and then his little buddy went and finished, and he had a slower time. So it was like in the twos. Will's time I think was like a minute 54. And then Nikki went and he was like at 2.01. So he didn't make the top 10. But then Tyler was like, Mama's going to beat your butts. And so I get in there, and I was really nervous because I was like, everybody's watching. There's this line full of people. It was so much fun. So I'm like just racing my heart out. And I couldn't believe it. At the end, I ended up getting first. And I was so sad because I bumped Will down to third because he was in second. So the person that, was in first got bumped down. So anyway, that was my toot toot for the weekend. I was like, I'm the fastest race car driver. So, plans. After this weekend of going to Michigan, I'm going to plan on getting started on those 3 pieces that I talked about, but I'm also going to go back to Autumn Tradition Sampler and work on one more quarter of that, so I'll get at least half of that finished. For the season, I think, let me look back at what I wrote down. I'm just like spouting stuff off. I shouldn't do that from memory. I don't have a great memory. Okay, I said that. Oh, maybe, and I'll pop in a picture of this too. I ended up finding this on one of the D-Stash pages. I have wanted this since I saw it at Silver Needle up in Oklahoma, like for a couple years. I fell in love with this. It's a Mill Hill piece. I fell in love with the cute little pilgrims and the Native Americans, the Indians, and I just love it to pieces. So I may start that. We'll see. Like I said, you know how it gets. It gets busy when the holidays start coming up. And then I'll do a couple more probably motifs on the Halloween Quaker by Leela's Studio. And I think I'll get a couple more days in on my Teresa Kogut Halloween sampler. And then after Thanksgiving, I'll be ready to get in the Christmas spirit. And I think for my Christmas stitching, I don't know exactly what I'm going to stitch yet, but I do know that I want to work on my Farmhouse Christmas. And I had started some ornaments from the Prairie Schooler Barnyard Christmas book. So I'm probably stitch 1 or 2 of those and work on my Christmas rules from Lizzie Kate. So, wow, I can't believe we're already starting to talk about Christmas, but it will be here before we know it. Okay, do you guys want to see my haul? I'm actually going to pause the video for just a second, and I'm going to run out and grab the 2 other pieces that I thrifted. So mostly went thrifting, but then there's some other stuff that I ordered from Needle Workshops too. So hang on 1 second. Okay, so back from the garage, and this stuff is dusty. And that's part of the reason why I left it out there to begin with, but that's okay. So our neighborhood always has a like a neighborhood-wide garage sale like a couple times a year. So that was going on in October. And so one day I went out and actually wasn't even in the neighborhood. I was leaving the neighborhood to go somewhere else, but someone else was having a yard sale. It was kind of an estate sale. So I stopped at it and I picked up this little washboard for $2. So it says on the back, National Washboard Company, number 442. And I don't know how old this is or if it's original or not, but it's a fun little washboard and I thought it would make a cute finish. So for $2, how do you go wrong, right? So I can't remember what day it was. I went thrifting on 2 different occasions. I ended up going to my local Goodwill. Oh, I was looking for like bits to go with Halloween costumes. And you know how you're just like looking for random stuff for Halloween that you're like, I don't want to pay an arm and a leg for that because I'm going to wear it once and then I'm done with it. So I went to Goodwill and I found some things for Will for his Halloween costume. And I came across this. And Katie, if you're watching, close your eyes. She's going to laugh at me because when we went antiquing last, I kept seeing Raggedy Ann dolls. And I was like, I don't know why, but I want a Raggedy Ann. They just kind of remind me of my childhood. So I have found this giant one and it's on a wooden like block, a little platform. This thing needs to be vacuumed bad. So we need to probably take it back out to the garage. It's dusty, but it's so stinking cute. And you can tell that it was handmade and it was $9.99. So she had to come home with me. Isn't she cute? Look at her little apron. I just adore her little rag hair. She's adorable. But she does need some major dusting. Okay, so next, when I was at Goodwill, I saw, the little frame that I showed you. This one. I got this for $3. Just a good 8x10 frame with that chippy green finish. I loved it. And then also at Goodwill for $1.79, I got this little tag, and this is actually from Walmart. The original tag is still on the back, so it's like brand new condition. Just a cute little orange gift tag, and I liked the little, what do you call this? Galvanized pumpkin and the burlap and the cute little raffia. So, well, I don't know what finish I'm gonna put on this, but I just thought for $2, how do you pass it up? I also found this oval frame at Goodwill. It's a really pretty red painted finish. This is from, it has a sticker on the back of it from Aubrey's in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. It's a really cute little sticker. I'll have to look that place up. That was $4. And then I got so cracked up because this is actually something that's still available at Hobby Lobby, but it was at Goodwill. And this isn't antique or has nothing to do with cross stitch, but I couldn't leave it behind because I have a Bronco and I have a two-door Bronco, and this is I have the Heritage model, which is like the original from 1966. So the Bronco sign can go in the garage. So fun. What else? I made notes for haul too. I knew I would get all over the place. I get anxious before I'm traveling. It's been a busy week. So the other thing that happened, Santa came early. My mom gifted me a new washer and dryer, and that led to, she was like, I'm going to give it to you early because it's on sale. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to argue with that. I was so excited. It's like the things you get excited about when you're an adult, a nerdy washer and dryer. But I was so excited about it because it's just like the super old school, the ones where you can like put the water level to where you want it. It's like just a top loader, you know, as basic as they come. But that's what I wanted because the other one I had, it was like, it did too many things. And honestly, I just personally don't think that those high efficiency washers they're just not as good. I like the old school one. If I want a big old thing full of water, I want a big old tub full of water. So that led to me like completely taking apart the laundry room and like dusting everything, because you know how the laundry room gets like lint, and when you pull out the dryer, so yeah. That wasn't on the plan, but it happened. And I'm so excited. I've already been doing laundry, and this is something I need to wash. I forgot to show this. This is not all. This is my quilt. I got my quilt back. So my friend Vesta, I sent this out to California, and she long-armed it for me. And she sewed on the backing and the binding, and then she left it where I hand stitched the front of the binding. So I learned something new. I learned how to do the hand binding, and then she just did this really fun kind of, what do you call it? Like a wondering, I forgot what you call this. You guys are probably yelling at me. I can't think of it. The quilt pattern. It doesn't really matter. It turned out adorable and I love it. And I need to go throw it in the washing machine now and, you know, let it do its thing. And now that's all completely finished, we can start using it. Isn't it pretty? I love it so much. Okay. So I can use the new washer on it. That's exciting. Okay, I have my little basket over here. Let's see what is in the basket. Haul is what is in the basket. So I ordered some things. And this is like now in no particular order. It's just kind of a mess in here, but I'm gonna just get it out. So I ordered from Lindy Stitches some floss. So many people were saying, oh my gosh, she has the best deal on flosses. I think they were buy 5 get 1 free. So I decided to order a few flosses that I needed for Halloween Quaker. I just kind of stocked up on some black coffee ingrats, and then I needed some more floss, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. So let me show this out of the bag. She had a piece of this XJU Midnight Ride linen, and so I fell in love with it. It's that really pretty teal again, but it also has like some of those dark little splatters on it. And I think in the back of my mind, I put it aside to do the piece, I'm going to pop in a chart because I can't remember. My brain isn't working. It's the two-toned, it's the piece with two, yeah, this is not coming out. I can't even think of the designer. I think that's where I'm hung up. It's got two pieces of fabric stitched together. It's this really fun fall scene. It's making me crazy that I can't think of her name. But I'll pop in a picture. So I think that I had that in mind whenever I bought that. And then I also saw this, which is Grandpa's sleeve. And I ordered this from Welcome Stitchery. So just another piece of 32 count linen in Grandpa's sleeve. So I haven't actually even opened this up and looked at the whole thing yet. I've seen so many fun Halloween fall pieces stitched on this. So when I found it and it was in 32 count, I was like, I'm getting it. I don't know what I'm doing with it yet, but I'm getting it. As a stash. What else did I end up getting? Oh, like I said, I got some floss from Lindy Stitches, and she has the cutest packaging. And she put in some fun little stickers, which will be great for Book of Days. They're actually birds. I'm just holding them upside down. And she put in a flyer for Jingle Ball. And I don't know if you guys have already signed up for Jingle Ball. The sign up started October 18th. It's really fun. I've done this for the last couple years. It's basically an online retreat, and it is just a blast. So if you haven't ever participated in it, it's going to be so much fun. She features 11 designers for a whole weekend. You can like hop on, hop off as much as you want. It's there. I think she records a lot of the like sessions, some of the designer sessions, not necessarily the classes, but so that you can go back and watch them later if you're not able to keep up with all of it, because there's so much entertainment. Like literally I don't even think it's possible to like see all the content that she puts together, but it's an amazing event and super fun. So if you haven't already signed up for Jingle Ball, I don't know what the status is on the classes, but I know you can still get tickets to the ball itself. So thanks, Steph, for the stickers. And I've got some more black coffee for my stash. And I ordered some Pelican Gray from Weeks Dye Works and some Weeping Willow Green. I just love that green. I was waiting to put this stuff away. And you know what I think I'm going to do from here on out? I just dropped it on the floor. I think as I'm getting stuff from haul, I'm going to record like me opening it. And then I can put it away immediately. And then I can just, put it together. Because I also ordered from 123 Stitch. And what did I order from 123 Stitch? One of the things I ordered from 123 Stitch, where I was enabled by my friend Lisa from L Snaps to buy this book, Winds of Autumn. It has 12 projects in it from Blackbird. Let me flip through this and see, without showing you patterns. I think I can just show you the project. So this is the one that I really want to stitch. It's Spell of the Moon. Lisa stitched it on a blue. And I was like, yes, please. I need that. And then at Chatterbox Retreat, I think it was Katie from So Tattered had this piece finished in around October 31st. And that one's really fun. And it also includes Nebraska Prairie, and that's finished as a drum, but I think I saw someone finish that a different way, like as a sampler. Am I crazy? There is A Sister's Love, this beautiful sampler. I mean, goodness, I could just be stitching on this for quite a while, right? Out of this book. Oh, here's the little sampler I was thinking of. It's Bittersweet September. That's so cute. Love all the colors. So that's the other reason why I ordered floss, was for this book. Let's see. There's also Autumn Sound. Pretty little bluebird. And there are like really awesome detailed instructions for finishing a drum in here. And there's this pattern, Blooming Sunflowers, which is finished in a cute little bag. And there's also detailed instructions for that. First Winds of Autumn, which is a strawberry. Oh, that's so fun. I haven't really gotten into strawberries, but I love that one. And then there is Patchwork Pumpkin. Look at that big old house. Sorry, I'm trying to be careful and not show patterns. And show you guys all the book, because I always want to see what's in the book. Waiting for the Harvest. That one's really fun. I've seen people finish that one as a pillow in a dough bowl. I love that it's just all monochromatic. And then there are these little, they call them sewing companions. So there is a pin cushion chart, a scissor fob, which is here, and then the box top. So there's 3 little charts there. And the instructions for how to finish all those beautiful things. And last, but certainly not least, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Mighty Acorn. Mighty Acorn. Just beautiful. So, for now, I had that pillow in mind, and I don't even know if I will. I know Halloween is, it's here, so I don't know if I'll get back to it, but I'll have it for next year if I want it. I also picked up from 123 Stitch one of these little tools called a tail end weaver. So like if you ever are playing thread chicken or you have to frog and you have that little short piece of floss that you need to run back through, these are very handy for that. I actually needed that today. Ew, I'm sorry. This is that really awful. Noisy plastic. Okay. I also picked up a piece of 32 count ale by Picture This Plus. This is linen. And I'm always seeing Joy from the Carolina Stitchers. And I hope you're doing well, Joy. And congratulations on that new grandbaby. And congratulations, Emma Kay, on being a mama. But I'm always seeing Joy stitch on this ale, and it's really pretty, and white just really pops on it, so I had to get a piece. I actually had, you know how on 123 Stitch you can just say, like, notify me when this is available again, so I have this, like, pinned. So when it popped up, I snagged it. What else do I have in this mess? I also got some more floss. I got a lot of black coffee. Please don't judge. I think I have like 7 skeins of black coffee right there. I got some grits also from Weeks Dye Works. And I got some classic Colorworks Blackbird. And this is Harvest Moon by the Gentle Arts. And these are some of these are the called for flosses for the Blackbird pattern that I said Lisa enabled me to get. So I need to put those where they go. More haul. Hold tight. Hold please. Let me organize this for just a second. Oh, Welcome Stitchery in their package. They sent the cutest little project card. I'm thinking that you can probably purchase this from them. It's a little project journal. So it has all the details for your project, and then you can circle the days that you worked on the project out of the month, and then what you did with it, that's so neat. So nice of them. Welcome Stitchery is in I was going to tell you where it is, but they say it's in Blue Earth. Is it in Minnesota? Yes, this card says Minnesota. Sorry, I blanked out on where their location was, but I decided, well, okay, the reason why I shopped from Welcome Stitchery, even though they're not local to me in the least, is that they had that amazing Grandpa sleeve fabric that I wanted. And I decided that I want to kind of hop around and order from different shops kind of going forward. Like I really enjoyed getting the package from Lindy Stitches, and just, you know, share the love. A little here, a little there. So I told you I also ordered some needle minders. Let me move this over so you can read this. Move these over. She does such a good job on these needle minders. I ordered these off of Etsy, or it looks like she has a direct website as well, madforminders.com. So the company is called Mad for Minders, and I got that fun little witch. Some of them are wooden, like this one's wooden, and then some of them are acrylic. They're really good quality and nice strong magnets. So I got a baseball, perfect for October. Carrot cake, because yum, I love carrot cake. And then the other two, the little house says fall in love, and then I don't know if you could see that one. The top one just like says all fall things, like caramel apples. Also say pumpkin pie. Fall is here. My oh my. So some fall needle minders. I needed those for projects. I realized as I was kitting stuff up, I didn't have very many fall needle minders. Other haul that I bought, one more thing. I think this is it. I'm gonna look back through the list in just one second, but I also bought this from Emily Call on Etsy, Be Merry. So yes, that will be a dough bowl piece coming up. I need to add that to my plans, right, for my Christmas stitching. I think that's so cute. I love her colors and all of these. The mint and the red, and the way she finished it with a cute little bow on top. I love it. I'm checking my list. Oh, the only other thing that I ordered were some needles from Fat Quarter Shop and some clips. And while this is not very interesting, I'm going to show it anyways. So I ordered a box of Wonder Clips, which are so great if you're doing quilting or trying to hold fabric together. I had some, but when I was working with my quilt, I realized I needed more. And then when I was hand binding, I was just using a needle that I had laying around, and I was like, I don't know if this is really the best needle for this, and it was kind of hurting my finger a little bit, so that always makes me suspicious that it's not the best needle for the project. So I was like searching around, and someone on Etsy suggested these primitive gatherings needles, which I ended up, and they're specifically for quilt binding. So they're called binding needles, and I found that they really were better than what I had. So they made the project go smoother, easier on my hands. And while I was ordering those needles, I also saw some that were specifically for wool applique. So I picked up some of those too, because some wool applique is calling my name. What else? A friend gave me a couple patterns. My friend Brooke from Stitch by the Brook on YouTube, she had come into like a ton of haul that someone had gifted her, and she was so kind to share it with me. So she sent me a banner occasion from Jeanette Douglas, and it has some of the specialty floss and buttons. They're really pretty. Some of them are super tiny. I don't know how well those are going to show up, but those are really pretty. And I had eyed this at Silver Needle for many years. I love Jeanette Douglas designs, and I love all of her specialty stitches. That's one of the classes that's going to be going on during Jingle Ball too. I don't know, like I said, I'm not sure if those are sold out. I haven't kept up with it. The other thing that Brooke gave me was this. I am loving the Halloween Quaker so much. She had this piece, which is Holiday Quaker from Leela's Studio, and so it's the Christmas version. And I don't know if I'll start this year or not. We'll see. But I am really enjoying stitching that Quaker, so maybe. Thank you, Brooke. Looking forward to some girl time. We're going to take a little trip up to Brooke, and Krista and I are going to go up to Missouri and just have a weekend sewing and cross-stitching together, so I'm looking forward to that. That'll be also in November. And all that being said, in my mind, oh, I went through a needle. Oh, that hurt. You guys, I'm making some good TV over here. Okay, am I bleeding? I'm not bleeding. In my mind, a month went by like so slow, and at the same time it flew by. Like in terms of Flosstube, I felt like it took a long time to get to the end of the month. So I might do a mid-month check-in in November, but like I said, the holidays are coming up too, and I was thinking that it might be fun to do another like kitted video, like Christmas kitted projects. So I might do that instead. We'll see. I don't know. In my mind, I was toying around with, do I want to do like a mid-month check-in, like do it every 2 weeks, Flosstube? But I don't know if I'll do that or not. So that's a good reason to subscribe and turn on the notifications, because then it'll tell you when I've posted a video. But if I don't do a mid-month check-in, I will be back for sure at the end of October, no, it's the end of October now. I will be back at the end of November, 1st of December. Oof, that sounds so far off. Did I say all the things? I think I did. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in and for all your nice comments. I do love to see those, and I do read them, and I do try to respond back to every single one. Oh. Speaking of, someone asked me, and I'm so sorry I don't have it in front of me who it was, but I did reply back to this. I had a viewer ask me about this piece right here that I had framed. This is, and I was trying to look it up for her, and I knew that I had the pattern somewhere, but I couldn't find it in my stash, and I was like, that's so weird. But when I was going back through some things, I found it. This is from the Rocking Horse Designs and Cross Stitch, a store exclusive, and this place is up in Michigan, and they are no longer in business, but I do have the chart right here. Pumpkin Harvest is what it's called. So if you're still interested, it was a kit, so I did use all of the beads that came in it, but you are welcome to it if you'll just reach out to me and let me know that you want it, and I'll mail it to you. I didn't stitch in that spooky spider. I omitted him, but you can do whatever you want. Like I said, it was a kit, so you'll just have to supply your own fabric and floss, but I'm sure there's a list in here. You can figure out how to make it work. Excuse the dust bunnies. I'm glad I'm able to provide some comedic relief today and just entertain you guys by stabbing myself with needles and whatnot. Okay, well that's all for now, and I'll see you soon. Happy stitching, friends. I'm
great state fair of Texas. Now who is ready for some pig races? Well, before we do that, if you guys are standing against the fence, can we have you sit down? We want everybody to see. Thank you very much. But now, before we start, once again, we are going to bring out a former racing pig. Give it up for Wilbur. In his prime, Wilbur went a whopping 24-0 in your very own state fair's pig races. What a champion! Now, didn't I tell you he was a racing pig? You know, he has gotten up to 1,021 pounds. But now that you've seen a former racing pig, we're going to bring out a future racing pig. Put your hands together for Wilbur Jr. Wilbur Jr.'s excited because he has been training hard, but he is still too small to race with them other pigs. So him and Elroy are going to have themselves mini race to get him into the spirit of things. I think Wilbur Jr. is going to win. What do you guys think? Well, is Wilbur Jr. ready? Elroy, are you ready? Alrighty then. Get set and go. Keep going, Wilbur. Keep going. And he's across the finish line. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the great state fair of Texas. Now, who is ready for some pig races? Well, before we do that, if you guys are